So I've been asked recently if I can just walk through how I actually set MotiveWave up, which, to be fair, it is a little bit more of a complicated process than something like TradingView, which most people are used to. So I'm going to walk through how to set up the volume profile, how to set up the horizontal lines so you can label your levels from the volume profile, which if you're coming from Cami Capital's school group is exactly how Cami trades on TradingView, just on MotiveWave. And then I'll also walk you through setting up the cumulative volume delta on the side of the chart here, as that is quite a useful tool. And then any other tools that I use day to day, which are just useful tools to know, then I will also talk about them. So when you first load up MotiveWave, it's going to look nothing like this. It's going to be different colors, probably different bars, different all sorts of whatever. And you're going to have loads of tabs down here, which I have deleted. So I can't even tell you what tabs were there, but I remember one of them was a heat map. That's all I really remember. And maybe a trades tab or something. I just deleted them. That's just personal preference. I like a clean slate at the bottom of my screen. But if we're going to set up a new layout, then we want to obviously click the add button down there. And now you can do an individual chart. I don't choose to do this. I choose to go to a floating section just because this is the most customizable way to do it as far as I'm aware. Just a disclaimer, I am by no means an expert on MotiveWave. I've been using it for probably about a month now, so I know some things. I know how to set it up how I want it, but I'm by no means like customer support for MotiveWave, just to make sure I've said that. But you can go ahead and name your new floating tab anything you want. I'll just call it YouTube floating. And then once you've set that up, you'll be moved onto a page with two different charts. You can just go ahead and delete these since they aren't really useful. So now we have a completely blank floating setup. So this is going to be our room to basically add whatever we want onto this section here. So to get started, we want to right click and add a new station, and we want to add a chart. Then we can choose our symbol. For me, that's ES. And then I put the bar size as 1 just because I'm always trading on the 1 minute chart. Hit OK and add that to your charts. So this is my main chart. This is where I have my volume profile at. So now let's just walk through setting up the actual volume profile. So now we want to come to configure at the top, and we want to click above MotiveWave. You're not clicking directly on MotiveWave. You're doing the thing on a Mac where you go to the top and it drops down this little section where you can choose from all the different things on it. So we want to go to settings, and then it's going to pop up with this very complicated, very customizable settings menu. So you can read through all this stuff if you want to. I personally don't. The only thing I believe I changed here was my time zone. I made sure I had that set to American and New York just because that's the time zone that I work in for trading. And then for the colors, you can go to the theme here and then you can change your colors. So I have mine as dark, red, blue, and then that'll get your chart to look exactly like mine as far as colors. And then to find the actual volume profile and customize your own toolbar, you're going to come to toolbar, and then you want to go to the top 2 toolbar, and this is going to show you all of the available things that you can put on this toolbar, which pops up just here. You can see the ones that I have on my current toolbar. They show up right there above my chart. And then this is all the other ones that you can choose to add to that toolbar. So you can obviously go through this. You can find volume profile. You can find basically anything in here. The ones that I like to use are obviously the ones I've got on screen: drag, volume profile, comment, ruler, PL1 target, and PL1 target, but obviously one's short and one's long. Trend line, labeled line, this is important. This is what we'll use to identify our value area levels from the previous sessions. And then pen, just because I like to draw, but honestly, I much prefer TradingView's pen. But yeah, these are the tools that I have. You can obviously go through and take a look at any other ones you might want to add. And then if you find anything cool, then make sure you leave it in the comments below so we can all share any cool tools that you might have found. As far as the settings, that is all the customization I did, I believe. So make sure you hit apply. That's something with MotiveWave. You need to hit apply to make sure the changes that you've made actually happen, or otherwise they won't if you just press OK. This is something that you will probably learn the hard way, as I did. But now you should have all your tools in the top left. So what we can do is scroll all the way back to the previous day for the regular trading hours session. I'm just going to maximize the chart just to make it a little bit easier. And then just like you would with TradingView, you're going to select the volume profile from the toolbar that you just made, find 930, and then drag it all the way through to 359, and then select. And then I'll plot the volume profile with the rhythmic tick data levels on your chart. So these are probably one of the most accurate levels that you can use for the volume profile. Obviously, your volume profile is going to look a bit different to mine. So if we want to double click on that, you can see my settings for the display here. Okay, boys, so future Brad here. I just need to clarify a couple things that I actually did wrong in this video. One is to get your volume profile to display true tick data, you need to go to the settings tab on the volume profile on the menu you can see here, and just uncheck the tick box that says use historical minute bars. If you uncheck that, then your profile will be using tick data, which, like I say, is the most accurate levels you can get. If you have it ticked, it will be using the standard minute bars, so it won't be using tick data. The other thing is for MotiveWave, you want to have your volume profile to the exact times that you want it to end. So unlike TradingView, on MotiveWave, you want to have your regular trading hours profile from 9:30 until 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. New York time. For the Globex session, the overnight session, you want to have your profile from 6 p.m. until 9:30 a.m. New York time. Sorry for any confusion, and yeah, back to the video. And then you can see my settings for the value area there. Now this is my template for the current volume profile. If I switch to the previous volume profile, which is a different template that I made, and I hit apply, you'll see that nothing changes apart from the actual levels are plotted at the end of the value level. I like this just because it shows me the exact number that I'm plotting when I'm looking at a previous session level. Obviously, this doesn't matter so much for a current volume profile. That's why I have the two different templates. But yeah, I can go ahead and I can see that the value area low is exactly 60.25. This is one benefit I found actually with MotiveWave. On TradingView, you can't do this. So it is nice just to scratch that itch that you know exactly the level that you're plotting. And then one other handy thing to note for volume profile is that you can't see the exact times that it's plotted to when you click on it. But if you click on it and then come to this far right dot where you plotted it, you can see the exact time there. So you can see 9:30 to 3:59. I always check that just to make sure I've got it to the exact minute that I want it. If you try and do that, but you end up checking this one, it's not going to tell you the time. It's going to tell you the volume because it thinks you're trying to see how much volume is in the bars on the profile. So make sure it's the one over here and make sure that it's not overlapping with those bars. Oh, and just so you know, if you want to know how I changed it so it tells me the exact levels, it's just this little tick box down here. Line/label font. If I untick that and apply, you can see the levels will disappear. So that's how I get the exact level for the profile. Now let's move on to adding the horizontal lines. You're going to come and click your labeled line indicator that we found in the toolbar before, and then you can go exactly to the right level and just plot it down there. I'm only going to show you how to plot the previous day's profile. Obviously, once you know how to plot this one, the only thing that changes is the times that you're plotting it. The things that I'm showing you are going to apply to the other profiles, obviously. But then to get this as clean as possible, obviously you can label it what it is. So this is previous day's value area low, and then I put that on the top right. Then we want to extend right and extend left. So now I've done that, you can see that the line is extended all the way across like it would on TradingView. And then you can mess around with the actual thickness of the line, the color of the line, all that sort of stuff. I think I put mine on 2 or 3. I can't remember, just whatever suits you really for that one. And then you can see the exact value of the level there just to make sure you've got it at the right place. And then the last thing that I will tend to do is I will right click on the line once it's done, and then I will come down here and lock it. So when I press lock figure, that means that I can't accidentally move this line. Just a handy thing because I know that in the past I tended to accidentally move them lines around and not realize. So just a handy thing to know that you're not going to accidentally do that. And then you can just hold command and click on that and it will copy it just like TradingView would and drag that up and do your point of control. Obviously nothing changes there. One thing I do actually is I come onto the font and I just make sure it's bold just so it's nice and readable. And then just make sure when you are doing these for the first time that you come and save each one as a template down here. Because obviously if I click on this, you can see that I already have that template there. And then if I drag that up and copy it, by the way, you can't copy a drawing that's locked. So just bear that in mind. If you're trying to copy the one that you've just made and drag it up, you can't copy it if it's locked. But yeah, once you have the template set up, you can just bang, previous day value area high. So there's our previous day's profile. And then finally for the delta, I'm going to minimize the chart again here. And then what I like to do is I like to add another station here. Again, this is going to be a chart, exact same ES 1 minute. Yep. And then drag that over here to the space that we left and just squeeze it in. So then to add the cumulative volume delta to this, the easiest way is to come back up here to this top menu at the very top, go to study, and then you want to come all the way down to volume based. And then on volume based, you can clearly see the cumulative delta there. So if we just click that, and then I change the bar type to candlesticks, and I don't change anything else, and then add that, that will pop up at the bottom of this chart here. And then I just drag that up so it's about 50-50 because I want to see both of them pretty similarly. And then one thing I would say is make sure that this is on reset at regular trading hours. That means that at the open, this delta will reset to 0, which is just a useful thing for it to do since you don't want to be comparing the delta of the overnight session to the regular trading hours session. And then one other cool indicator that I've been messing around with a little bit, I've been adding it onto my cumulative delta chart. If we go to study once again, and then this time to overlays, if you look for depth of market, which is this one right here, and then add that to the right hand side, it will plot basically what is the depth of market, all the orders resting on the DOM, on the chart, so you have a visual representation of the DOM instead of having to look at all the numbers ticking up and ticking down. I've started using this, I'm trying to get more comfortable with it, but I do think that it's definitely a useful tool to have in your kit. And then just one added note back on the volume profile, if you are wanting to have your current session profile, so where it's extending automatically, what you want to do is just click from where you would have it, so like 6 p.m. or 9:30. I'm just choosing 5:30 to show you here, but if you just drag it to the current price that is printing and just click it there, that will automatically extend with price. The only way it's not going to extend with price is if you drag it to a time that was in the past. But if you just click and drag it to the current price, then it will automatically extend. And then the final little trick for profit targets, if you take the tool that we put on here before, the way that I will do this is I will look on the volume profile and I will use this tool, and then I will just click where I want to enter. Say I want to get long at the previous day's point of control. I will then drag this to wherever I want my stop loss to be. Click, and then bang, it will automatically plot basically a 1-to-1. Sometimes it does it a little bit higher, so you just have to nudge it down, but most times this will automatically print a 1-to-1. And then vice versa for shorts. If I select the short tool and click on that, and then say I wanted to have my stop just above the previous day's value area high, it would bang, and then that time it went automatically 1-to-1. So yeah, pretty neat little trick for the profit targets. And I believe that is everything you need to know to set up MotiveWave, at least to have everything that I use on mine. I hope you boys enjoyed that video, and if you have any questions, do leave them in the comments and I will try my best to help you out. And if you didn't check out my last video, which shows you how to get MotiveWave for the cheapest possible price and get access to all this order flow and tick data stuff for a one-time fee, then check out that video right there, because I'll talk about exactly that. That is all I've got for you boys in this video. I will wish you good luck, good trading. Catch you later, boys.